because of this issue of intimacy. We don't understand what God designed intimacy to be. And in our discussion this morning, remember, I said to Mary about intimacy that, about like a relationship is not really anything to do with the other person or lack of trust in the other.
Yes, and please, I remembered that I went on so much. This is what you would really like. This was so interesting and wonderful to hear. And this is what you would really like to talk about. So please, let us talk about the issue and the fallacy of trust.
Yes. So in our discussion this morning, as you could see, this whole concept of trust comes from, as we've already said, this fear-based perspective on earth that we have to trust somebody before we can feel their emotions, and trust somebody before we can give them our emotions. And both of those things are not actually true. The reality is we are safer, actually, if we look at true safety from God's perspective, we are safer to feel and experience every emotion that comes to us and every one of our own emotions. And God designed the universe to be safe. So any word that indicates a lack of safety, trust, indicates an opposite, a lack of trust. And like safety indicates the opposite, a lack of safety. Any words that indicate this duality, if you like, of safety versus lack of safety, trust versus lack of trust, they're all indicating fears that exist within us that we need to address emotionally. We need to release them. We need to let them go emotionally. And if we let them go emotionally, we will start seeing that the real issue is not to do with trust of another, not to do with safety, but rather this feeling that we cannot cope with certain parts of our own emotions.
Yes, and so with full surrender emotionally, which is something I have to say I thought I had done. But,
Exactly. but now no, you have not.
That's right, because I've found myself grappling with feeling I cannot trust. And in fact, I cannot trust so much that I do not want to know who he is. Or even meet him or anything.
Yes.
And as you say, with full surrender emotionally, there is no necessity for a sense of trust.
That's right, because when we're fully surrendered emotionally, we know, and this gets a lot, we must first look at this point that if to fully surrender emotionally, we must have like complete faith in the way God created our soul. And the way God created our soul is to feel and experience emotion. That is the safest place for our soul. That is the place of pure safety. The real safety that we have in the universe is this place. And so we must first appreciate and learn to and develop faith in the way God created the soul to feel. And it's the lack of faith in that causes us to believe in things like trust and safety and things like that. Because when we are feeling emotion, when we're capable of feeling all of our emotions, no matter what they are, we're no longer concerned about how another person treats us. Because all of our concern about how another person may treat us is all to do with fears that we have inside of ourselves that are yet to be released. So obviously, if we had no fear inside of ourselves that is yet to be released, we would not be concerned about how another person treats us. And so then we would be open to experiencing all of their emotion and open to experiencing all of our emotion with them. And even if some of that results in some potential difficult situation to deal with emotionally, because I've got complete trust in my ability to deal with my own emotion and complete trust in the way God's designed the soul, I deal with it. And I'm not afraid of dealing with it. And so this creates a place where you're very, very safe internally. And so therefore you're not projecting the lack of safety onto another, which is what most people do in their relationships.
It's wonderful.
Yes, it's an interesting